Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bearded Baker Banter, the sports podcast. Welcome on this beautiful Thursday in the middle of January. A little cold out there. Welcome, Trent. Welcome, Trent.
Beautiful. Yeah, I was gonna say it's another polar vortex we're sitting through.
Yeah.
It's all right
Tired of this
though.
shit.
We're in primetime college basketball slates, and I love it.
Yes, we are, which we will get to at the end of the cast here because it's big games this week. So a lot to talk about. We will definitely get to that stuff. But let's start off. I mean, we got one game left here in the college football world. So let's start to look at our national championship here. I know it really wasn't the outcome I'd have believed that any of us wanted. Definitely Trey for sure. But yeah, what?
Or just thought was coming.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see it. I mean, Penn State, Notre Dame game, obviously back and forth, a lot of the game, very tough, kind of tough way to end it, especially when it gets down to it where it almost seemingly Notre Dame, as long as they can run the clock out, which they did, and kick the field goal. I mean, it's kind of a hopeless feeling. Like I know when, all our teams have been in that spot before, and it's like you just want to do something. You're like, please, like bad snap, please, like fumble the snap, or please, something, and it never happens. It never happens.
The problem was like that Penn State had so many chances, many chances. Like the goal line play, I think, where they ended up kicking a field goal where Katron Allen, wasn't a good pass, but a little bit behind him on the goal line, he dropped that little out pass. But
that was huge.
They need to put it on him, and if that happens, that's game over.
Yeah.
Two interceptions in the last 5 minutes in your own territory doesn't help. Especially the last one.
That last one, man. God. 30. Just take it overtime. Like, run the damn ball.
I know coaches, they have to think about the player and whatever, but in the post game they're like, that's not on Drew. It's not on Drew. Well, who's it on?
Yeah.
Like realistically, that.
Yeah.
Throw it away. Go to overtime. Do not turn the ball. The only thing you tell a quarterback is, hey, whatever you do, don't throw a turnover. Don't cause the turnover. All right.
I don't think you actually say that because that's like a bad omen.
But that's that's the only thing you can't do, Trent. So it's the only thing you cannot do in that situation.
I will say this: if you watch the post game, which I did, because I don't know, sometimes I like to sit in misery, I guess, because I was miserable after that.
Bask in enjoyment.
No, absolutely
Trey,
not.
Do you have your mic towards you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
there you
go. But what I was going to say,
watching the post game stuff.
Yeah, and now that you look at it, is you say, hey, just don't throw a turnover, don't turn the ball over. The way he did describe what he was trying to do, which was, I was throwing it away, I was throwing it at his feet, and it just sailed on him. And then kudos to the Notre Dame guy, is typically you don't see a guy maintain that through the ground in that manner. His momentum's coming forward towards the center of the field while the ball is getting intercepted, and he just somehow kept his arm/hand underneath it. So it was a good play. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. You hit the nail on the head. Missed opportunities. They had it constantly felt like after that whole first half, it was complete dominance by Penn State, complete dominance, and it was only a touchdown game.
Yeah,
touchdown game, and that's kind of the old last year's Super Bowl.
Richard popped up.
There you go. Last year's Super Bowl, you had a team like the Niners that were completely shutting down the Chiefs' offense. And what do we keep saying? You've got to get points. If you don't take advantage of keeping the Chiefs out of the end zone, and you're not taking advantage of that, they will get you in the end, right? And that's how the Chiefs have been kind of doing it all season. Is heck, Mahomes isn't having that good of a. I know we're not talking NFL, but that's my comparison. I think Penn State let Notre Dame hang, and they let them hang long enough that boom, right at the very end. And don't get me wrong, you were talking about like hoping for a bad snap or something like that. That ball initially looked like it was going right.
Dude, it like weirdly like stuck there and
It
then
was
just like
going.
zipped back.
Oh, it was going
was-
right, man.
That was bizarre. I don't know. Yeah, so that was obviously a bit frustrating. I mean, I know there was some positive news that came from all this, though, that is that Penn State is getting both their running backs back next season. So that's big time for them. Big expectations too.
Don't stop there. Oops. Don't stop there. I got a little thumbs up thing going on.
Dom DeLuca.
DeLuca's back. Their number 28 defensive lineman, Kobe something. I think Kobe. He's back. No. And then one of their stud offensive linemen said he's coming back. And then Drew Aller is officially coming back. He announced that too. So you're right, Ty. That is to get Singleton and Allen back is huge.
Especially the way that they ran the ball. I mean, and like I said, I wish they ran the ball more.
But you got
it is kind of all they did because Aller didn't complete a single pass to wide receiver.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you've got to get in the portal and get a top receiver that's not Julian Fleming because what a dud.
Dude, since he came out of high school, been a dud.
It's weird. Very weird.
Like he was the top guy.
We saw him in person, and it was whoa, like
freak athlete. It's just it's funny. It's not funny, but it's interesting. He was the wide receiver that was at Ohio State. He was a top. I believe he was number 1 in the entire state of Pennsylvania. Correct.
He was top 3 recruits nationally.
Right, and then went to Ohio State. Didn't really hear about him ever, and then this year he transferred to Penn State and. Didn't really hear about him ever.
Trey, he was a Pennsylvania high school called Southern Columbia. He was not too far from here. So they've got like the record for most state titles because they just clean house at 2A every single year, pretty much. I think they won 7 straight. But yeah, they need to get the receivers. You do lose Warren, but. That next guy coming up is pretty darn good. That 85 for Penn State, he'll be a stud.
Oh, heck yeah, man!
And we just had another.
Penn State's kind of turning into a little bit of. I know we have these discussions. Tight end U. I will say that
they were up there all the time with that discussion trend.
I'm just saying. When I look at like Freiermuth, I look at Jasicki, Warren. Who else is there? I'm missing Brady back in the day. Kyle Brady, I think his name was.
Curtis Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But other game, real quick recap. There was the Notre Dame. Sorry, not Notre Dame. The Texas Ohio State game. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Texas surprised me a little bit. They were able to shut Jeremiah Smith down. Receiver wise, I believe he ended up with about 5 receiving yards. So to have that happen and Ohio State still win was kind of surprising to me. Big news coming out of that game is obviously that Quinn Ewers is declaring for the NFL draft. There was a lot of speculation out there that some people and some teams, some teams were actively talking to him, trying to bring him in because obviously we know that Arch Manning is the next guy up there and in Texas going into next season. So I wasn't sure if we were going to see Arch or not. I know our account tweeted about it, possibly happening because they just at one point in time he really couldn't get anything going. So I don't know. I mean, Ohio State obviously, not as dominant as they had been the first 2 games. I think there was a little bit of, uneasiness, unsure, but they still look pretty darn good. So it will be an interesting matchup this week. Obviously, Monday, Notre Dame and Ohio State. So anything else here? Go ahead, Trey.
Well, I don't know. I just are we talking about the game itself, like Ohio State and Notre Dame? Like, are we gonna talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of recapped some of it. So go ahead. Any other input?
Just that I think that like, what are you guys picking in the game, and what do you guys think is going to happen? And
Yeah, I'll start if you really want me to.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I have a personal opinion, but I'd like to hear your
I'm
guys first.
as much as I I don't give I just don't care. Like I don't care who wins, so I have no like bias. If I had to sit there and say right now who I'd probably be okay with seeing win more, I'd probably say Notre Dame, which kills me to say. Like I don't know. Like I've always just grown up not liking Notre Dame. It was our household. But I also would say
You just
none
said
of
you'd like
us.
to see them win.
I said, yeah, if I had to say who I'd like to see win, yeah, I'd say I like their head coach. I like Freeman a lot.
Marcus Freeman's that dude, man. He's an
Yeah,
awesome
that
guy.
huge upgrade from Brian Kelly to him, especially because there was a lot of doubt with him taking it over. So I'm on the Freeman board, but when it comes down to I am not going to bet this championship based on my preference because I'm sick of it. Like the college football playoffs has completely torn us apart in terms of wagering. And I am just going to say Ohio State covers 8.5. Like Ohio State covers everything in this game. There's no way you're going to keep Jeremiah Smith silent for 2 weeks in a row. I think Ohio State screwed up in not making a point to get him the ball more, and that's what kept Texas in it. Texas has the NFL talent, as you see, their whole entire team left for the draft, pretty much. But I do. I'm Ohio State winning outright. Ohio State covering outright, and I won't give my best bet for the game, but that's where I'm at. I'm done. If I'm going to wager on it, which it's a national championship, you got to put something out there, right? I will be wagering on Ohio State across the board.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Trey, who are you picking in the game? Then we'll get best bet.
To win the game?
Yeah.
Ohio State. Best bet is a little different. I don't know if I'm going to bet the spread for the best bet or money line necessarily.
Don't give it yet.
I won't, but I think that Penn State played a very bad game where they didn't capitalize on very obvious opportunities. God, I just hate even revisiting the game because it hurts to know that like Penn State won that game. Like they should have won that game 100% of the way. And self-inflicted mistakes, turnovers in your own territory that are forced, they aren't needed. Like it's not like you're losing the game and you need to drive, and you're just throwing interception, not capitalizing on red zone opportunities. So I know people like to say Penn State had a cakewalk to the Final Four, and they did. But I think Notre Dame necessarily didn't have a hard one either to get there. Yeah, much. They didn't have a hard one. They're pretty flaccid. But no, I just think Ohio State's been tested. Like they played Tennessee, Oregon, and Texas, and they won all those games handedly. Right?
That they did.
Unless they play a dud like they did against Michigan, I don't know how Notre Dame wins that game.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Ain't gonna happen. No duds.
I'm a little bit different than you guys. I think Ohio State will win. I don't think, Trent, that Ohio State will cover. I think Notre Dame could cover. I think it'll be a closer game than most people are going to think. 8.5.
National championship game.
8.5 in a national championship game.
Didn't it open at 9.5? Or am I even imagining that it opened at 11.5?
You might be imagining.
Okay, I might be. I
don't know.
You know, with as much numbers as we crunch, sometimes you dream about them.
I'm looking at you a Richard Pop Top shout out because I was just infuriated with the topic we were talking about. But hey, this is a Goose Island variant. Only released on Black Friday by Goose Island.
Wow.
Ooh, okay, nice.
And this one itself is
it an IPA?
No, it's a stout.
Okay.
This one itself is 2023. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I just crack up because I'm pretty sure Trey might hold the record for shortest dry Januaries I've ever met in my life. He's done it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, well, none of our listeners knew that, Trent. So thank you for exposing me for my failures.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's
really funny that I didn't want to drink, and here I am drinking, man.
New Year's Eve night. Yeah, this will be the last one for a while. I go, why? No, dry January, man. I go, you're actually doing that? I go, absolutely, gonna do it. I think it was January 2nd or 3rd.
It was like 4th or 5th. Yeah.
Like, hey, how's that dry January going? Shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, we're beer guys that like beer. It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool, Trent. I'm just a failure.
It's okay. You'll bounce back. We got I don't want to. I should do. Just say something about November. But
I should do like dry February. It's the shortest month, so
that's when it should be. Yeah, you're right.
It's not leap year, is it though? Is it a leap year though?
Well, then you don't do it.
How many months have 28 days in them?
0.
1.
Except other than February.
Actually, 12 of them do, Tyler.
Ah, shit.
Stupid.
That was a good one.
Oh, yeah, that's stupid.
He's
all right.
He's tricky when he's drinking. All right.
Hey, you ready for the segment?
Let's do it.
Bearded Best Bets.
All right. Coming in hot. You ready?
Yeah.
Ohio State first quarter spread -2.5.
Ooh, okay. All right, I'm coming even hotter.
Ooh.
Notre Dame first drive punt -140.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a little bit of a niche for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Been trying that a little bit here in the playoffs, and I think Ohio State's defense can hold them at least the first time until they figure it out. Notre Dame seems to start a little bit slow offensively.
I'm under 45.5 points.
Do you one better there, Trey? It's 46.5 on DraftKings. Shout out
Bingo
DraftKings.
bongo.
Yep.
There you go.
Double down. All right.
Terrible. This is equivalent to that year that it was the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl.
Oh, that was terrible.
Right? Yeah, nobody cheer. If it ends up being as good of a game, excellent, right? But it's really hard. It's really hard to be vested.
Can I be honest with you guys?
Don't want to
be honest? I'm going to be 100% honest.
I don't want you to lie to me.
Yeah. Don't.
Well, then you're not going to want to listen to this. Well, no, you will want to listen to this because I'm not going to lie to you. I want Ohio State to smack their ass. I want them to bend them over and spank them till their cheeks are like chapped red. And the reason being,
was that a lie? Was that a lie or was that the truth?
No, that's the damn truth. I'll tell you that.
You want Ohio State to do that?
Oh yeah, I want them to bend them over their knee and spank them till their asses are chapped raw and they might be bleeding a little bit.
Oh, this is disturbing. A little too much.
Okay.
Jesus, yeah, you crossed the line.
Oh, I'll put the explicit memo on it and we'll call it a day. But the reason being is because I've had friends, not going to name names, Penn State players, Penn State haters, not players, that have just messaged me nonstop about the game, Notre Dame beating them, etc. And some of those players or some of those haters are also like SEC guys, like fans of SEC teams. And I want Ohio State to absolutely throttle Notre Dame by like 30 points, just to show that the SEC is the daddy conference of college football. They're the
You
daddies.
mean the Big Ten?
Or yeah, sorry. Yep. Wow. Majorly misspeaking. Yes, the Big Ten. Big Ten is the big daddies of college football.
All
And
right.
I think that is proven this year. I think it was questionable during the year, but this playoff and this bowl season as and I don't know who it was that said it. It was that NIL and the transfer portal kind of equaled everything out and made this a level playing field, and that the SEC, who's probably illegally getting away with paying players to pay for them.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But I just love seeing the Big Ten just dominate college football.
Yeah.
So I hope Ohio State throttles Notre Dame.
I think it's also better too. I mean, not even just Big Ten, that they have done away with like the split in the conference, where it's like, hey, it's just the Big Ten.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously they all did that, but I'm saying I think that was good to have, because remember how we talked about how lopsided it used to be, where it's like, here's all your powerhouses, and there's
Wisconsin.
Here's Wisconsin.
Or Iowa, yeah.
And Iowa, yeah, that was it. Oh, shout out Iowa, George Kittle jersey.
Yeah.
I guess. Punts, and more punts.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me I don't want to get out of college football yet. There's going to be changes, I think, to the playoff and also conferences again. And I don't know. I just feel like conferences need to go away in college football.
I think that's starting to become more relevant, especially after Franklin's comments and everything else, is like everybody should be in a conference. But I think that's also kind of a way of saying like, hey, maybe conferences shouldn't even exist, But I don't know. Then what do you do then? I mean, does it become a regional thing? Does it become, what does that look like? I know we could talk about that for hours and hours and hours, which I don't want to today, because we do have some NFL playoff talk to get to. But
can I say my one comment about what college football needs to do?
Yeah.
Is that they need to adopt what the NCAA did with the quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4 wins. If you want to actually like have a legitimate way of measuring wins and what wins matter and what losses matter and etc. Because I think that was a big debate this year. You need to do that. You need to do, if you're a home team and you're a top 25, that's a quad 1 win. If it's away, and you're beating an away team that's top 50, that's also a quad 1 win. Like they need to do what the NCAA basketball does in terms of wins, so that way they can measure it and be standardized.
Yeah, no, I can see that happen. That would help in terms of the playoff then, if you do eliminate conferences.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are your thoughts,
Fair enough.
I'm very eager to see conferences go away, and the reason I say I'm eager, I'll be anxious to see how it's managed. I think we've proposed a couple pretty cool ideas on being able to potentially do that at some point, but I just don't see how it's like feasible at this point. Like you can't do an NFL model. Too many teams, right? Too many schools. You just can't do it, right? The NFL has what, 32 teams, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's like you just 32 teams. Well, there's so much more than just 32 teams at the college level. But I'm anxious to see where it goes. I totally think things will change for the playoff itself. And what I mean by that is I think you'll see. I do think that you will see the seeding be different. I don't think it's going to follow the same way. I think after the first round they're going to reseed, even though that wouldn't have mattered this year. One thing I hope that doesn't go away is the home aspect. Teams that play in the first round deserve to have that home playoff game. I think it's awesome. As much as they want to talk about ticket costs and prices and students being gone on break, but I don't know. I'm soon ready to see. To be quite honest with you, if you want to do it something like the NFL, I think you do still need to have conferences, but I just think, and to keep this short, I think you have to have power conferences and then sub power conferences, kind of like they already do to some degree, right? And I think you need a relegation system. That's my thought. Is teams that finish in the bottom 3 of the big conference versus a team that win, or something of those lines. And then what you do with those sub conferences is you have your own form of a playoff there, like we talked about, like an NIT. Like you're going to take those winners, and then they get to compete for a form of their championship, and that top team in those sub conferences get to move up to the big guys.
Too. Bowl games
yeah.
too.
I just that's something to me that makes it all a bit more competitive. It gives a lot more guys a lot more reasons to play, and I think it's going to be meaningful football. Like, will you get some teams that just stay buried? Absolutely, you're going to. But you're also going to get those teams
teams that just stay in like limbo. Like, let's say, for instance,
back and forth. Well, I just want to get to one more thing. Is
SMU
the way that you can avoid teams staying in the basement is that's where NIL is going to come into play.
Yeah.
So, and I know some schools made a disadvantage, but you know what? Big ass universities fork over some damn money then, because you all keep it for yourself at the very top. So fork it over if you want to see your sports teams have success. But if Tyler, you don't have anything to add, I mean, I'm ready to go. Let's go to the.
I'm good. I'm ready for NFL. Yeah.
Let's go with big boys.
So divisional round is set. First game starting this Saturday: Houston Texans versus the Chiefs at 4:30. Second game on Saturday is the Washington against the Detroit Lions. And then Sunday, I only call them Washington. And then Sunday, it's the Rams versus the Eagles at 3:00, and then Ravens Bills at 6:30. So, I mean, some interesting stuff to kind of take away, because I don't want to necessarily recap a ton from last week, because last week was last week. But I don't know. I mean, there was definitely some teams that I think limped into this next round. I mean, I don't think the Eagles.
Why don't you want to recap anything from last week?
I was gonna say I would like to give it maybe not every game, but we do got to talk about that. And
that's fine. I mean, then here I'll start with this one. Is I think the Eagles, while the Packers, sorry Trey, but the Packers played horribly. I don't think the Eagles looked that good. I mean, the fact that they were only up 10-0 or 10-3 or whatever at halftime. Go ahead.
Let them finish.
No, that's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. The Eagles are. It's gonna sound stupid to come from a Packers fan, but the Eagles are lucky the Packers played as bad as what they did play, because
that was an insurmountable amount of injuries.
Yeah, that was a recipe. The way the Eagles played, that was a recipe for a disaster for them. Like, if the Packers played an average game or an above average game, not necessarily a great game, they win that game 100. Like, they win that game 10 times out of 10. The Eagles didn't score an offensive touchdown that wasn't handed to them, because I'm talking about the first touchdown they scored was handed to them. They didn't score another touchdown until 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Like, that's bad. It's very bad. Not saying the Eagles are bad, because that was their worst game they've played in a while, probably since third week of the season. They'll probably play better here on out, but looking back, it's just very hard to. I don't know. I don't want to get too into it. I'm a Packers fan, but
so
Jordan Love needs to be better. Like, he does. Like, you paid him money. He's a good quarterback. He needs to be and they said this. I just read an article about it. He needs to lead the team. He's a quiet guy. He's like he's a chill gambling guy, right? Like, he's like that. He's like that. He's like that meme that we love. And that's not what you can do. Like, you can't be like that. You cannot be like that. You can't be like the chill guy. Like, especially as a Packers quarterback, like, you need to lead the team. And I was happy to see Matt LaFleur and the management say that, to be honest with you. Because I thought that the whole time. I was like, yeah, Jordan Love, he is the talent and stuff, but what about the intangibles? Like, I didn't see that from him, and I'm glad people are calling him out on it.
Yeah, more multi-interception games this year than anybody else in the league.
But
now it also includes the playoffs.
Not throwing Toyota.
Right.
Yeah,
I was gonna say surprise of the week for me though. Obviously, was the Rams smacking the shit out of the Vikings.
No,
I didn't see that. That was surprising me. I didn't see that happening. I know Sam Darnold kind of showed weaknesses against the Lions in the previous week. It was obviously going to depend on what he did. Is he going to play like he did against the Lions, which he did, if not worse. It was like 7 or 8 sacks. 7 or 8 sacks in the game. The Rams just looked ready to play across the board.
Rams are going to be in the NFC Championship.
But let me put it this way, though. I don't even think, like, offensively, I was like, whoa, look at the Rams, which they have a lot of offensive talent. I was impressed by the Rams' defense and the way that they were able to get after Sam Darnold and also just coverage. I mean, you have some elite wide receivers on that team, obviously, with Addison and Justin Jefferson. And I think that was also part of the reason Sam Darnold, whether he just couldn't see or was seeing ghosts or whatever it was, is there was some good coverage by the secondary of the Los Angeles Rams. So obviously the Rams had a lot to play for too, which also plays an X factor into it. You know, hey, we had to play in Arizona, you know, everything's happened in LA. I get it. So that, I don't know if they were extra motivated. It was just, I mean, a lot, but that was a surprise for me. But Trent, surprise of your week.
Well, I think it's weird. The Vikings have a very unique season. When it came down to it, they lost total 4 games, right? In the season, they lost to the Lions and Rams back to back. And then to end their season, sorry, not celebrating with balloons. And then to end their season, they lost to the Lions and the Rams back to back. It's a very unique outcome for their season. I think although they were big losers, the Vikings, they were also big winners in the sense that they might have saved themselves from spending a ton of money on Sam Darnold after all that hype there. So I think even O'Connell's post-game press conference, it kind of sounds like they're going to move on and they're going to move back to McCarthy. They're no longer going to field trade calls for McCarthy. You have Daniel Jones, you have Sam Darnold. I like in terms of you've got that rookie, if he has to survive with a Daniel Jones next year, because there's going to be somebody that's going to take a 1-year waiver on Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones. That's going to happen. I think with sticking in the realm of the quarterback talk, highest paid NFL quarterbacks in 2024, Dak Prescott missed the playoffs, injured too,
and most of the season.
Yep. Ready? Trevor Lawrence missed the playoffs. 3rd, Joe Burrow missed the playoffs. Jordan Love, 4th highest paid, lost in the first round. Tua missed the playoffs. That's where we talked about this over the summer, guys, is some of these quarterbacks after 1 year, 1 season, got big money. Maybe I should say 1 legit season, got paid big money. And I don't know. I think they got to stop paying quarterback. I think there's 1 or 2
quarterbacks, Trent, that I don't like in that statistic.
Okay, but they're all the highest paid.
One is Joe Burrow.
That's the outcome.
One is Joe Burrow. I think he's you can't criticize him. What did he do? He had an MVP season.
I agree.
Statistically, he's better than what fucking Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen provided.
Okay, I'm not saying Joe Burrow's bad. All I'm saying is with these teams that spent all their money on their franchise quarterbacks, went to shit. Didn't get anything out of it. Didn't get anything out of it.
Because I'd much rather I would love to have Joe Burrow.
Where's Lamar fall in that list though?
I only have the top 5 highest paid.
Lamar already got his contract.
No. I know. But I'm saying, remember, he negotiated for himself, and that was a whole big ordeal a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well,
Lamar's
I think
good.
he's.
Jordan Love.
I think
Love's
he's getting his
trash.
MVP.
Yeah.
So, other thing, I thought very, it's weird you don't hear as much about it, but the majority of the first round games of the NFL playoffs were also duds, in my opinion. Not very competitive. Best game in my mind was the Buccaneers Commanders, obviously, because it was also the closest. Kind of very exciting. I hate that I fell asleep for the majority of the in between there. Did wake up for the end. But okay, where's the criticism of their playoff? Like shit, like these games were blowouts. Like simple as that.
All right, Joel Klatt.
But I'm saying like they're all blowouts. You got one close game, but it's like that just goes to show you once again. It's not that it's like there's a fault with the system, and I'm not saying that, but it just goes to show you that there's a very clear division between real contenders and fakers, and certain teams get to play certain schedules and win lots of games, and then they get up in the playoffs and they poop their pants and it's over. So I look at like my team's conference, the AFC West. They got 3 teams in the playoffs. Broncos, that sucks that they got in over the Bengals, right? Sucks. They're out. Chargers, yeah, you know what? Made the playoffs finally, but once again, Herbert, like he looked like crap. He threw
4 interceptions,
more picks in one game than he did all season. So, and then just to throw it out there, speaking on that, Tim Tebow is still the only QB drafted by the Broncos to win a playoff game. Just a heads up, in case you didn't know that fun fact. So, I think there was a clear division between talent, and I'm looking forward to this week.
You're talking about like not. I like the expansion of the NFL playoffs, and
I didn't say I didn't.
Well, yeah, but one of those the Broncos wouldn't have made it if you're talking about as a 10-7 team.
I'm not criticizing the format. I'm just saying like keep that same energy for everybody that criticized the college playoff first round. Criticize the NFL first round because it was the same exact type of stuff where there was like maybe one close game.
What they would be criticizing is that the 7th seeded team shouldn't be deserving of it. That would be the Bo Nix and the Broncos, and I also disagree with that because that would be the 11-6 Green Bay Packers, who I think deserve to be in the playoffs. So, I like, yeah, sure. The NCAA playoffs, their first round playoff games weren't exciting or whatever you want to say, but I think they were necessary. Just like I think the NFL expansion was necessary. So
I agree. Yeah. I wasn't criticizing the setup. I was just saying, I get frustrated that people were so quick to criticize the college playoff. Like, Herb Street, these teams being in here, and then you have little
kept it at 4.
Little Lane Kiffin, in DMs of people allegedly and just tweeting things. And it's like, dude, just shut up. Like, teams take care of business, just like in the NFL. They deserved their playoff spot. Yeah, the games weren't competitive. There's a clear line that shows the level of talent. That's all I'm getting at. But let's go into this coming divisional round, right?
So yeah, let's look at. I mean, I think the one game that personally that sticks out to me. We'll kind of get into each of them here, but Commanders Lions. Those are two teams. I wish they didn't play each other because I would love to see those two match up in the NFC Championship because it's like talk about cultures. Like you got Dan Campbell and Dan Quinn, man, and those guys both right there have just breeded cultures into these teams. I mean, let's think where the Lions were at just even a couple of years ago. Let's think about right there, Trey.
Yeah, good.
Jeez. And then you're talking about the Commander. It was super loud. Commanders and what they built, from where they came from under the Snyder ownership and everything else. It's like, I don't know. I'm excited for that game. I'm glad that's a Saturday night game. I think that'll be a fun one to watch. But picks, best bets. What do we want to do?
I mean, let's first game up. What do you want to, Tyler? Go ahead, take it away.
Let's just do picks here. So let's go. We're just gonna do picks, and then we'll get into any best bets that you guys have.
Okay.
All right. So first game, Texans Chiefs. Trey, who's your winner?
My winner is man.
Who wins the game?
That's so tough. The Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Okay. Trent, who wins the game?
Yeah, Chiefs win.
I think Chiefs win. I think it's a close game though. I think the 24 days off is going to hurt them a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Next game, Commanders Lions.
Trent,
Lions. Trey,
Commander or Lions. Sorry,
Lions. I'm going to go Lions as well. So we're all on the Chiefs and Lions so far. Next, you got the Rams and Eagles. Trey, who you got? Rams, Eagles.
Rams.
Trent?
I think the Rams are going to have a way to win this.
We'll find a way to win this.
Yeah, supposedly snowy Sunday.
I did see that. Do you think that hurts or helps the Rams though?
I think it matters.
You would think an indoor team from LA would hurt, but I don't think it matters either. I think the Rams they got something clicking.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Rams as well. I think looking at lines and stuff, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
I think it might be one of the first times that I like Sean McVay more than an opposing coach.
It's fair enough to say.
I actually don't hate Sean McVay. I shouldn't say. I love
Sean McVay.
I don't like sometimes how he goes down and runs the end zone.
I think he is an asset.
He is a what's the word, like when you're really young and overachieving, like not a savant. I don't know. I don't know what he is, but for how many protege? Yeah, he is like to win as many. I think he has the record for most playoff wins before being 40.
So why do you hate him?
And hold on, you ready for this? He's never played the same team in the playoffs.
Really?
Every team he's played so far, and when he's in the playoffs, has been a different team. Isn't that nuts?
That's weird. That is weird. Trey, I don't dislike him as a coach. I just didn't like. There was a period of time where he would like run down the field like after they'd score and like be celebrating in the end zone with his team. I'm just like, you're the head guy. I don't care. I think wait till they get to the sideline. That's all I'm saying. I'm allowed to think that.
So, all right. But
all right,
I love Sean McVay.
Last one here, Ravens Bills. Obviously the hot commodity of a game. Trent.
I was just going to say we're going to have only one difference, Cross. I'm taking the Ravens.
Okay. Trey?
Taking the Bills.
Winner of this game wins the Super Bowl.
Beer bet? You want a beer bet?
Or at least goes to the Super Bowl.
Hold on real quick. I'm also on the Bills. Keep in mind that it is a very high chance of snow, and it is frigid temperatures when I don't believe that Lamar Jackson plays well in the snow.
Trent, you want to?
I'm going money line.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Money line?
Yeah.
Money line?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I got you. I'll bet that.
Well, give it to me.
Oh. Sorry, you're in my top right. So I was actually like reaching up to your corner of my screen.
You gotta like
give it to me a little bit better than what you're giving to me.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, wait. All right, ready?
Okay, screenshot that right
fucking
there.
Give it to me, Trent. God damn it. Here we go.
Sounds weird on audio. Okay. There it is.
Okay.
Weirdo.
Like, you're the fucking weirdo, dude.
Oh, jeez. All right.
All right.
Tyler,
so let's.
who you got?
What?
You say you have the Bills too?
Yeah, I'm on the Bills.
Yeah.
I think it's a weather thing.
Sounds like you're afraid.
Guys, what?
Bearded best bets.
Whoa!
You weren't even gonna let me comment.
No,
it wasn't.
Nope.
Stay muted.
That time.
Dang it. I said, what type of defense, Tyler? What do the Bills sit in?
No, I understand. Dude.
What do they sit in?
What you're saying.
A cover
Are
two
you
shell.
like trying
Cover
to
two,
justify
huh?
They
this
sit
is-
in a cover
this
two
is
shell.
stupid.
I'm speaking where I look at like looking at what the Bills like to sit in, which is a two high safety look. What does that open up when you sit
Make
with
it
two high
better,
safeties?
man.
Run game. What do the Ravens do the best at? Run game. He doesn't have to throw that well. He's got to throw average to win this game.
So make a best bet, you little pussy.
Oh, for that game, you want to jump right with that since we're talking about it? I got Ravens money line best bet.
We already made a best bet against that.
No, we made a
No,
beer
that's
bet.
his best bet.
Whew.
All right.
All right.
So Trent, yours is Ravens money line.
For
Trey,
that
what's
game,
your best?
we're doing
What's your bet? Yeah, what's your best bet in the Ravens Bills game? No, I think he's frozen.
Me?
So I'm gonna be.
What?
I'm gonna be Bills. I'm gonna be Bills money line is also my best bet in that game. Let's
Me
work
too.
backwards. We got Eagles. Okay, I got Eagles Rams. Ooh. I don't really like much in this game, to be honest with you.
Jeez.
I'll take a Kieran Williams anytime touchdown is my best bet.
Ooh, a touchdown score as a best bet. That's a.
Mhm.
I don't think that's as risky as you think. I'm just going. I'm going Rams with the points. Give me Rams +6.
Okay.
Best bet.
Trey, you got a best bet in that? It's +6, -6, +6 the Rams.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was I've seen
No.
Nope.
All right.
No bet. No bet.
All right. Commanders Lions here. And real quick, Trent, I'll give mine on that one. Actually, no, I lied. Go ahead. You give yours because I don't have mine yet.
Ooh, I'll tell you what. This was a tough one. I really just want to say like even though it's 9.5, that to me is like brutal. Like I just think it's gonna happen, right? Like Lions are gonna cover that. It's just too steep for me at 9.5 in an NFL game. I am going to go because I think they're going to be playing from behind a lot. I am going Jaden Daniels over 34.5 pass attempts.
Okay. I'm going to go on to. I'm going to be on Commanders team total. I'm going to say Commanders team total over 20.5 -155.
Ooh.
Trey, any best bets on that game?
No, not to be honest with you. I have no best bets.
Okay. And then last one here we have Texans Chiefs, which is the first game of the weekend. I'm taking Texans 8.5 because again I think the Chiefs are going to be a little bit rusty.
The Chiefs don't cover. Like the Chiefs just don't cover, and
Yeah, no.
now you're going to say 8.5.
Playoff Chiefs.
I think after what the Texans defensive line did to Herbert and what Stingley I think his name is, right? He's an all pro. After seeing what they did, I know the Chargers don't have great receivers, but like I think they got a legit shot. And then what's that guy's name? Al Sahir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dirty player, but he's a pretty good linebacker in there, and look for him and Travis Kelce to mix it up.
Be good.
Oh, watch out, Swifties. Travis is going down.
Oh,
Shoot. They're going to be all over us now.
I know. All right. You guys ready for some college basketball here?
Yeah, let's get into it, man. It is hard. It makes to be productive on a weekend hard because just knowing there's 130 games on a Saturday, it's like I've got to make sure that I get up and do something productive.
Yeah. I think big game from the other night. I mean, obviously, you had a couple of big matches. We had the Ole Miss Alabama, where Ole Miss actually took care of business. Mississippi State, Auburn. Auburn took care of business as they were predicted to. The Kentucky Texas A&M. I was kind of wondering which buzz would show up, if it was undercover buzz or regular buzz. And regular buzz showed up to start, but then undercover buzz kind of came out and took it away. Kentucky ended up winning that one 81-69. Florida losing a close one was tough, especially after a couple of big wins that they've had. Duke destroyed Miami, which was just a massacre. And then even last night, looking at the Kansas-Iowa State game, Iowa State has Kansas' number. They've had their number for a little bit, and I think they're right now, them to beat up on Kansas the way that they did is kind of them saying like, hey, listen, we're the new daddies here in the Big 12. You got to play by our rules, which I can't lie. I actually really like it. So that was a nice one to see. I was happy to see that my Tar Heels are finally getting back on track. I believe they won 4 straight. They're also 4th right now in the ACC with a record of 12-6, 5-1 in the conference. So, yeah, not doing too bad. But that's kind of some of my takes and stuff.
Well, so far, by Wednesday, three top 10 teams have lost.
Oh.
Yep. By Wednesday this week, 3 top 10 teams.
Look out.
So, SEC, I know all you're going to hear. It's kind of like the old Big 12 reputation. Oh, they're just beating up on each other. I just don't buy that crap because I look at like Georgia last night. They had a big win over the weekend. Who'd they beat? Who'd they knock off? Was it Florida?
No.
I forget. They beat it was either Florida or Kentucky. Oh, no, they beat Kentucky because I think we were on Kentucky. Georgia knocks off Florida over the weekend, gets absolutely massacred. They get massacred by Tennessee tonight. So
I Kentucky and Oklahoma.
Yeah, so I think there's a little bit of I think there's some frauds in the SEC. I think there's some fluffed records from pre-conference play, and then then they benefit from a very, very loaded conference. So their strength of schedules are strong. I'm going to name 3 teams that I would say to keep an eye on that are looking extremely. Oh, he's there, Trey.
Bless you.
Sorry.
There's 3 teams that right now are standing out to me to keep an eye on, even like wagering wise. I think the first one is not as much of a surprise. Michigan State. Michigan State is looking very, very strong. And I wouldn't say they're the typical Michigan State where maybe they're not going to score and they're going to play better defense. They're actually scoring the ball a lot. Watch them. Undercapped team is Louisville.
Okay.
That's why I was on them for like, what was it, -4.5, 5.5 the other night, and they ended up winning by like 20 some. And then the third team that I want to point out that I'm not saying this team's a tournament team or anything, but by the end, I think they're starting to fall into what this coach's system is, and that is USC. USC has the old coach from Arkansas, Musselman, out there. They struggled early, but they are they're getting better.
Dude, I don't know what the hell's happening over there.
Bad case of the sniffles over there. But yeah, so those are 3 teams. Just keep an eye on. I think Michigan State will be in the top 10 next week as long as they take care of business the rest of this week. Louisville is going to be right. They're second in the ACC. Their only loss is to Duke, which they actually kind of gave Duke a scare. And then USC's coming on strong. What is your guys' take on Mick Cronin? Like, did he screw up big time? Like, do you think he screwed up, or is it like validated?
He screwed up big time.
I think he did. I think he did because he took what should have been in-house out of house, and now I feel like the team's going to be like, well, why should we trust you if you're just going to put our stuff out there? I get it. He's saying what a lot of coaches are thinking, in my opinion. With a lot of things and a lot of different sports, but I don't like that he did it the way he did it. just from a trust standpoint with your team. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, but it'll be interesting. Hey, look for him to probably be out and go somewhere else after this season.
Yeah,
in my opinion. But quick surprise, I have just kind of looking at some games coming up here tonight, Thursday. You got Michigan, Minnesota. Look for Minnesota to kind of make a little bit of an upset. Minnesota. I don't know. They're okay. They're a sneaky team.
Tyler. That's lean right now for me. That's like lean for best pick tomorrow. That's
right.
Dude. Michigan they are another team getting used to their head coach.
Yeah.
I think they have some parts.
I could be wrong.
That are going to make them tough.
If you want to make it your bet and you feel more confident, I'm running on just simply a hunch. So,
you've got two legit 7-footers for Michigan.
No, I know.
One's the transfer from the Ivy League school. I can't think of. I think Yale, and then the kid from Yale. Is a 7-footer that can freaking handle.
He's good.
Like he can run like they're literally running pick and roll, pick and pop with two 7-footers. Dude, it's impressive.
He's good.
And then obviously, Trent, did you bring up any of the Saturday games here?
I actually have them saved here if you want me to.
Go ahead.
To rattle
some of those off.
Yeah. So once again, Saturdays in college basketball are just absolutely. What is tomorrow's 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th? There we go. Wait. 18th. Here we go. Ready? I think underrated ACC matchup is going to be Clemson versus Pitt, although Pitt really let us down last night. That sucks. Pitt was looking like they're going to be a legit potential tournament team, but I think they're falling off. You got Alabama at Kentucky. Great. That's going to be a friggin' awesome matchup. You've got Auburn.
What's that spread?
No spread released yet. I
think Alabama blows their doors off.
Wow. Coming off of you would think with how unpredictable it is. Auburn is at Georgia, so number 1 versus number 23. It is kind of cool this year with this next matchup that we can watch some of these West Coast teams before our bedtimes, right? Oregon,
bedtimes.
I
don't have a bedtime.
Making a joke, guys. Okay.
Purdue,
number 17, Purdue. Ooh, big brawl last night, guys. That was watching between Pitt and Florida State right now.
Big brawl.
Like a fight. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's a fight right now post game. But Purdue, Oregon play 3:00 on Saturday. It's number 17 versus 13. I'm just going to put it out there, Ty. I know you love this team, but put them on upset alert. Iowa State at West Virginia, upset alert. Watch it. Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Good little rivalry there. What do they call that? The Egg Bowl in football, correct?
Sure.
Ole Miss is looking like Chris Beard at Texas Tech days. Yeah. So, and then Duke. No, that's just. I'm sorry. I have that favored because they're my favorite team. That's not. Duke plays Boston College at 8:00. So I don't know if I missed any. I know I gave most of the big time matchups. I know we pay attention to small time college basketball too, but dude, you got a full slate. You can watch it all day.
Did you mention
Saturday.
UConn Creighton?
I did not. I did see that though.
That could be an interesting little matchup there. I know Creighton's kind of fallen off. They're underperforming in my opinion.
Yeah.
St. Bonaventure versus Duquesne. That's obviously one I'll watch because of Duquesne, but I also like to follow the Bonnies there. They play on Saturday as well. I think that might be it for now that I could really see off the top of my head. So yeah, huge slate of games. Going to be awesome. Just like most Saturdays, especially now that we're losing football. I also would like to say this, that as much as I was on Furman there earlier on in the season, they're a bunch of frauds, man.
Yeah, a bunch of
frauds.
Shit, yeah.
Dude, last night game 3.5 was the spread. They won by 3.
Fuck them.
3 points. So I'm staying away from them currently right now.
No,
I'm still on my Arlington team. Still on my I'm still on the Bonnies, and they barely. Trent, I know you said about them being overcapped.
Just be careful.
13.5. They won by 14.
So I'm just saying. I just think
be careful.
I haven't bet them in a while, just because I agree they're getting some big numbers. But
yeah, they're putting them double-digit favorites now every freaking night of the week.
Yeah.
I think it's because everybody started making money on them, because you probably got freaking Wojbaum up there saying, "Dude, did you see our spread? Make sure you wait for us."
Yeah.
So it's like, geez, like, yeah, get you got. That's one thing I like.
I'm betting against them.
There's teams that you get attached to, like we're all guilty of it. Can't be afraid to break up with them.
Some of those games I mentioned were tonight, Thursday night. So just to keep an eye on those. But yeah, it's looking good. I don't know. One of my teams that I am back on is Cleveland State for sure. So I like taking their weird games. I used to take them all the time in the team or the total points over. But right now I like them in certain matchups. And I'm really kind of hitting that first half money line on some of these teams too. So we'll see. Trying to find a niche, man.
It's hard to find a niche, and it's hard to find a niche in college basketball because we can't bet on college like player props. So that sucks. But Tyler, what the old Cleveland State coach now at Missouri, big win over Florida last night.
I know. That's one I kind of fell for that a little bit when he was the coach there for a while, and they let me down a lot. It wasn't the same as betting on Cleveland State, so I've stayed away from Missouri since he's been there. But maybe I'll pick it back up. But
I'm heading out, fellas.
All right.
Love you guys.
Anything else? Everybody have a great weekend.
All right, man. Enjoy it.
All right.
Trust you guys. Love you.
All right. See you, bud.
See you, bud.
Peace.